You know, guys, when it was announced that HBO was going to be making a Watchmen television series, I think I, like many of you, were very, very conflicted, very confused, not too sure what to think, considering that Damon Lindelof would be the person in charge. We've already witnessed his handiwork in regards to the series finale of Lost. We've already seen Prometheus. We've already seen World War Z. We've also seen Alien Covenant. We know that when Lindelof's name pops up, it used to be brought up in high regards. It used to be brought up in a lot of good sounding things. Oh, Damon Lindelof's involved. Well, it's going to be good. It has to be good. There's no way feasibly in hell it could be terrible. Yet here we are. Here we are with Watchmen. At this point, who quite knows what's going to be going on with that? But what I do know is if you want to support the channel, be sure to toss a like. Right now, YouTube's algorithms are god awful. So the best way to help out, quite frankly, is to click on that like. Let's try to get it to 200. I think we totally can. But anyway, going back over here to Lindelof himself, a guy that it needs really no introduction. We already know who he is. But he went to the New York City Comic Con to talk about Watchmen, and he kind of gave fans a little bit of a tease, and that tease could potentially be, it may only be one season. Now, when usually you hear of a television show, one season is not ultimately what goes along with it, especially when you think of it from the time investment from the studio or the network, how many pieces and parts you need to have a TV show. Why in God's name would you get rid of it? Why would you just do one season? I mean, if it's meant to be a limited series, usually right off the bat, it's a limited series. But Lindelof here, he's playing an interesting game. So this is what he says. Lindelof and his sprawling cast, Regina King, Jeremy Irons, Gene Smart, Louis Gossett Jr., Tim Blake Nelson, all took the stage at New York Comic-Con on Friday to introduce their vision to the audience for the first time and potentially the final time, as Lindelof revealed the first season of the series was envisioned as a close-ended story, saying, "We want to see how it's received by you guys. If the show comes out there and the conversation surrounding the show suggests that you're hungry for more, we will certainly take that into consideration. We want to deliver 9 episodes that deliver a complete, total, and amazing story." So let me just start off by saying, first and foremost, that I respect that. I do respect that they want to tell a story and they want to tell it the right way, and they don't want to set things up that they're not able to deliver on. And that is something that is ultimately very good. And I do appreciate that, and I do like that. That being said, I mean, at least it's not going to get canceled. I guess that's probably the other good side about that. I don't really see a downside here, to be honest with you. If it's good and we want more, then that's all well and good. But in the meantime, who knows? Anyway, it goes on to say here, Watchmen has been or has an incredible emotional connection for me, says Lindelof, who was approached by HBO to adapt the graphic novel 3 times before saying yes. Funny thing is, Paul Feig was also approached by Sony 3 times to do Ghostbusters before he said yes. I'm just saying. He says, "I got very jealous that they would go do it without me. Even if I said no, it would be 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. I would see the HBO logo and wish I had something to do with it. I said no because I was scared. What was missing was the idea." Going on to say, "I have such reverence for the original material that the idea of doing that again was not something I wanted to do. I thought Watchmen was written in the mid-'80s. It was about the mid-'80s, and it was very much of its time. I asked myself, what happened 30 years later? What happened to Adrian Veidt after he saved the world? What was this like after, what was this like after an alien squid dropped on it? What if Robert Redford, who would run for president, won?" So which is interesting. He drops his little tidbits, basically means that this version of Watchmen, of which the show is clearly influenced by, it is clearly inspired by, means this is not considered canon. Snyder's tonal vision for Watchmen, which was perfect for the adaptation in my mind, and people out there have criticized the movie, but they've never criticized the artistic and visionary style of the film because it's amazing. It's so good. He's such a I love Zack Snyder's visual eye. I really do. But so we know it's not considered canon to this. So it's not a continuation of this. But funny thing is, when looking this information up, I encountered this right here. Zack Snyder and reportedly and HBO had reportedly talked about this back in 2015. This article is from literally 4 years ago, and I completely forgot that they had talked to Snyder. What would a Snyder TV series been like? I honestly really want to know more about that, probably more than the Damon Lindelof one. But I mean, again, look at here, October 15th or October 2015, straight up 4 years ago. Anyway, late in the panel, David Gibbons arrived, and who says this? He says, what particularly attracted me was Damon wasn't thinking of it as a sequel, a prequel, or a sequel, but an extrapolation. What Alan and I did with Watchmen was ask if superheroes really existed, what would they be like? It's a big and bold question. What Damon is answering here is, if that had happened back in 1986, what would the world be like now? That's 30 years is a lot of time for a lot of unexpected things to happen. You end up a million miles away from the graphic novel, but with extreme fidelity to it. There's nothing in here that contradicts the graphic novel. And that is, in and of itself, fascinating, isn't it? When you know that this is going to be the biggest problem here, people can go back and look at Zack Snyder's Watchmen and criticize it and pinpoint certain things and talk about certain things. And it's all valid in some of the liberties that they took, but I still think it's a very solid adaptation. Getting rid of the squid, I think, worked. I do. I think David Hayter did a good job with the script and writing that out. But I would have liked to have seen a continuation from that movie as well, but I'll take a continuation from the graphic novel. So again, it's pretty interesting to see just what's going to be happening with it. So also here, finishing up, they do want to make sure that those 12 issues are canon, that the 12 issues of the original Watchmen are canon. Everything that Hatchmen and Watchmen precede our show. If our version of Watchmen becomes a gateway for people to buy the graphic novel and read it, it's one of the greatest things ever written and illustrated. I would be happy for that. As for the television series, Lindelof and his team have envisioned a 9-episode first season, and beyond that, there may not be any more. At the least, Lindelof says he views a coming season as a complete story, not unlike the Watchmen graphic novel. And it makes sense that they would want to tell a complete story. It would make sense that they want to present it like this. But make no mistake, while it is designed as a single standalone story, there's going to be so many Easter eggs. There's going to be so many hints, so many setups. There's going to be I don't think there's going to be like a mystery box, right? But there might be a mystery box. If he learned anything from J.J. Abrams and how to keep people on the edge of their seat, that's going to be a big part of it. And so, yeah, they're going to probably find a way to move this out. Now, one of the reasons why I think he went this route is because his last show for HBO, The Leftovers, which was a show about what life would be like post the rapture, the first season, from my understanding, garbage. Just utter garbage from my understanding. Then he retooled it a little bit, came back for season 2, really upped the game. And by season 3, which they had chosen to make the final season of that show, he told a full, complete story that he wanted to tell, but it got really good by the end. So maybe that's what he's trying to do here. He's learned from his past mistakes with Lost, with Prometheus, with Covenant, in regards to trying to tell a story that's part of a larger universe, is just make it self-contained. Reference the previous stuff, obviously, by watching the trailer. We've seen Archimedes is in it. Dr. Manhattan is in it. I mean, clearly, Ozymandias is in it. So, there's a lot there, right? There's a lot there that's going to tie into the novel. And if it does get more people to pick it up and read it, that's all good too. But then again, 10 years ago, with Snyder's film, it had the exact same effect. But people are going to go into this movie or into the show thinking it's a continuation of Zack Snyder's film. Not that it's going to be a continuation from the graphic novel. And that is something they're not going to be able to get rid of. But anyway, I leave it to you. Your guys' thoughts, your guys' opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later. And remember, please be sure to toss a like. Go ahead, toss it up there. Just a big old like. 200, we can do it. Subscribe if you're new. You can also find the Patreons there. Link in the video description. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.